Welcome to Snowball Madness, A to Z. There's 142 different kinds of snowballs you can throw, and we are on Q. Now, you may ask, what is Q if nether things like nether quartz are called N? I'll tell you. Q is just one thing, quartz, block of quartz. It's not the little nether quartz, that does something else. The block of quartz is rather special, and I'll show you why. See the nether star and the TNT? We can fire those, but it's a little dangerous and it's a little difficult. You can throw them, but it's hard to make that bomb go very far. I'm trying to hit that. When you increase the intensity of the explosion, it makes it very difficult for the thing to go very far. Now, you could use beacons, but that's not the only option. If you have nether quartz and a solid object of some kind, it does a rather special thing. If you reflect your shot off of something, and you can also reflect it off of the ground, just like this. They're very large explosions, these. If you use the top of some kind of surface like this, and if you're careful, because if you hit the front face of it, and then it will try to bounce off of that and explode right there, which could be very, very unhealthy for you. You saw that the one block of quartz bounces like this. But that's not all. You can do 2 blocks. Getting more interesting? Or 3 blocks. Now watch closely. Those might have been a little bit too up or not. And then we can just fly over there and see what happened. And look, that's what happened. Here's the deal with the nether quartz. Nether quartz is your artillery emplacement. It's a little bit difficult to manage, but if you can make it work, it provides a super long-range weapon. For instance, here we'll fire a bunch of very large explosions over here. And this is not limited to what I can throw using a beacon. They're going a lot farther. In fact, 4 nether quartz will go even farther still. And that's one way of taking out that thing. Let's see if I can get that one right there. Signs point to yes. And of course, if you derp it a little bit, you can create a bit of a mess. Now, if I was not in creative mode, I would be so very dead right then. So this is not a safe technique to use. Also, you might not want to shoot straight down. See, that's only 2 blocks in nether quartz, and it's still a bit of a big mess, as this will be. See, this is sort of what you get with a nether star TNT. Normally that is not really very throwable. That's such a big mess that I'd better just start throwing some regen snowballs and putting this island back. It's a very nice little island. There's no reason to leave it as a hole in the ground. And so here's our little gun emplacement again. And this time we're going to be a little more careful. It's going to be either 3 or 4 blocks, I think, as far as power is concerned. And we're going to entirely remove I think we're going to entirely remove that. Let's test this out. Is this still working? Let's find out. Oh. That's me firing regen snowballs. That's the grass block. No. The exploding snowballs within block of quartz are these. I have a feeling maybe that obsidian isn't really there. However, I think that this island is, or for the time being it is. Again, be very careful that you're not actually ricocheting And now, having had our fun, oh, let's blow this up too. That's what I call an effective explosive. Nether quartz is your artillery beyond all artillery. You don't have to use powered up TNT for it, but this is the kind of thing where you very well might use powered up TNT for it because of the kind of carnage you can create. So a relatively short amount of time caused that. And then we'll wander over here where we were firing our original volley of shots. And this is what you get with this particular type of destruction. A lovely big hole, and I think we've even, well, maybe not. I don't see any damage all the way over here. Let's fix that. So this is what we immediately hit. And we were on this little gun emplacement. See, if you make a base, you could also cause the base to be defended by this weapon. So what we're going to do is fire some over like this. Fire some more directly. See, they're going a little farther. Since it's Snowball Madness, you can just keep going. But you can't do multiplier snowballs without reducing... Well, actually, that's not true. That's not true at all. We can do multiplier snowballs if such things please us. And it will produce this effect, which is a single shot. I'm that will turn into the multipliers afterwards. See, our first thing is the nether thing, so the first thing fires off these mini shots, and then the second ones turn into the multiplier snowballs, and those go and explode in clusters. And then lastly, we're going to hop up here, back to the nether star, and see if we can't get a little more range on these. My goal here is to wreck some of that stuff off in the distance beyond the wall of trees. And so I'm getting a more of an angle. And I can even go for extremely high-powered ones. As you can see, these suckers really go flying. We're shelling on into the night. If you're not firing from an angle like this, it's very difficult to see where they're even going to land because you can power them up so much. And now that daytime approaches, let us see what is left of this world. And we've made a much larger hole. But our aim was to get beyond that. And we've got some damage over here. And then I think some of the shots actually have gone either too far or have despawned before they hit anything. And they may possibly have gone into the ocean over here. So what we can see is that this quartz block is good for stuff that's just barely visible, but it's not necessarily super good for stuff that's completely beyond your ability even to see. And naturally, if you are from somewhere like here, you could also fire back. And we'll do that now. Get a little more range in there. I think it's only a 2 that we need. And then we'll see what kind of damage we did over here. And the answer is we seem to have hit that somehow. But we either landed in the water or overshot in some way. See, this is dissatisfying. Now I want to see carnage. There was only the one thing for this particular purpose, so what I'm going to do is just make sure that I see some kind of result. We'll try getting a bit of a range on it with a 3 shot and aim a little lower, or even bounce it off of this one. Pretty sure that if I calculate this properly, I need a very long and flat trajectory. See, as I aim more steeply, the snowballs will go higher, which means they may be overshooting my target. I'm aiming for that little area right there. Now we'll head over and see what we've got. It's quite indestructible. But that area is not. So there we go. Now that's what was supposed to happen. Quartz Block snowballs, ladies and gentlemen. All kinds of handy. Ta-ta.